Welcome to Conversations with the Love Crusader. And don't say the Love Crusader is not here, because she is here and she's on the hot seat. It's a new year, so we are revamping things. We are doing things differently. And part of the things we are doing differently this year is introduction of the hot seat. And who else is best to begin that hot seat if not the Love Crusader herself and her partner? So intro. Welcome Mama and Papa to the hot seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Just say hello to the people first. Mama, Papa, just say hello to the people first.
Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. It's good to be here on the other side of the show.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here.
All right. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. This is what we'll be having subsequently, but we just thought to begin from the very beginning, So today, they are going to be on the hot seat. We are going to be asking them questions. It's no holds barred. Tell it all. So don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to take it easy on you first. To allow you settle in, then we will now take it up from there. But seriously, we're going to be asking you a couple of questions. I actually have 3 sections for you. So first section is hot seats questions. They're not really hot seats, just to get to know you and for people to learn. Really, that's the whole idea, for people to learn from relationships, other people's relationship, get to do things better, get to make better decisions. And that's all those questions are about, really. Then we'll have a little bit of game. Then I'll give you a little bit of rapid questions. There's really no time, so I think it's best that we just get into it, because we need to get all the juices out. It's not every time we have opportunity to ask questions like this, So now that we have the opportunity, let's get all the juices out as much as we can. Are you guys ready?
We'll try.
We'll try to be
ready. If Ghana, you're really scaring us.
No. Don't be scared. Just relax and just see that you are talking to your brothers and your sisters. Well, at least we want to learn. We want to know more. So I have 5 questions here, and you're going to tell me number 1 to 5 which one you would want to answer. So since it's ladies first, Mama, you tell us 1 to 5. Give me 1.
3.
Number 3. Okay, great. Since you are choosing the questions, it's in no particular order, so and that's fine, really. So for number 3, the question is, how did you know? It's about relationship, life, marriage generally. So how did you know that he was the one? So we've assumed that you guys have met and you've seen him and you said he's the one. So how did you know that he was the one?
I don't have to answer first.
Yeah, you answer this one first, though. How do you know that he was the one? And what did you do for you to know, or what happened? Because most times, you know how people say, some people hear that audio voice saying, my daughter is the one I've chosen for you. Some people say they see visions, they have dreams, the Lord, stuff like that. So you knew he was the one. How did you know he was the one? And what did you do to make you know that, okay. I'm not going to ask that question. Did you know? Because apparently you knew he was the one, after how many years now? Please remind me, please.
Almost 25.
Almost 25 years. I mean, this has to, I know that age, generally, they say age is just a number, yeah? But there's something with number of years. It just has to count for something, especially in this generation where so many marriages are failing. Yeah, people have challenges in their marriage. No marriage is perfect, but that's 25 years. That should count for something. I mean, you can't just throw that away and say it's nothing. People, no. So how did you know from year 1 or day 1 that he was the one? And what were the things that you did? Or what happened to make you know that he was the one?
Okay. Happy New Year again, everyone. That question will beg for a very long story, but I'll just try to cut it.
Please
Uh,
tell us the story. We can take it now. There's still time
so
now, so tell
I
us.
think I am a mixture of the dream and the vision kind of thing. So yes, I had dreams, and I also had um, some things I was looking out for in a partner. So
So
I
you
was,
had a list.
yes, I was one of
Hmm.
your list kind of girl. I had this diary where I wrote a list of things or character I wanted in a man. And
So tell us about your list first.
so
We want to
on my
know.
on my list, I had one, a first class graduate, and two, somebody from my place, three, God fearing, someone who served God, um, a people's person, number four,
Hmm.
because I've always been, like being the first daughter in a very large family. Um, my uncles, and they call me mommy of everybody in the family. So I wanted someone who would embrace,
And
you know,
compliment that.
yeah, to be able to carry my whole family together. So I wanted a people's person, not someone who would snub other people. So that was one of my criteria. I wanted somebody who could sing. I love music, sing and
Hmm.
dance. Yeah, and someone who was fun, because I can be a bit uptight. So I wanted someone who can, just be able to get me out of my shell and make me laugh and be happy. Those are some of the things I listed, and I think my husband scored 70 or thereabout.
Oh, I see.
So he wasn't, despite that 70, you would say is a pass mark. He wasn't one of my choice. He wasn't. I was not looking his way, especially because also he was not from my place, from my tribe. I wanted to marry someone from my tribe. And at the time I met him, he had not even gone to university. So, and I was looking for a first class graduate. You understand? I mean, someone very
Hmm.
brilliant. So, because of those two things majorly, he wasn't on my radar. Despite
Hmm.
that, we were good friends. We were very good friends. I mean, I used to gist him about my relationship then,
Wow.
and go to his house. We were working together in the same youth fellowship. We were in the same choir, in
Hmm.
church. So we were close, but I was not seeing him in that light. And yeah, so but I had two other guys. One I was already in a relationship with as at that time. The other was also what you would call maybe a toaster, but he was one of those I was looking at, considering one of those I was a considerable suitor.
Hmm.
The major pass mark he had was that he was from my place, and
Oh.
yeah, he had even gone to meet my grandma. My family loved him. Some of
Hmm.
the members loved him. Being somebody who was that close, but he wasn't a God-fearing person. Okay, no, I don't want to say it's not a God-fearing, but he was not a Christian. Let me put it that way. He wasn't a child of God. He he was more of the you go and club kind of guy, and on Saturday night, and so Sunday, no time for church or no time for God and all of that. And so this other guy that you will say I was in a relationship with was kind of too focused on leaving the country at that time. So
Hmm.
I remember my mom calling me and saying, look, this guy, you love him, but I don't think he loves you as much as you love him. And one thing that will be good for you is to marry a man that loves you, that truly loves you, not the one that you are dying for. I really loved this guy. But like I said, he was more focused on other things other than a relationship or a serious relationship at that time. Anyway, so I had these three guys, and I was kind of,
Or two.
no, no, my husband being the third, but in
Was
my
not the considered one.
as my person, I was not,
Aye.
I was not counting him on the list at all. And so at this point, I was quite confused. I said to my friend, and I said, every one of them have something that I like. I liked the fact that my husband could sing, my husband could dance, my husband could make me laugh, you know. Of course, that was why we were friends. I always felt comfortable with him and when I was around him. But like I said, he had his own, you know, the comma. Then the other guys too, everyone seemed to just have their, so no one was perfect. And that's the message out there through the, I mean, talking to the young ones and the people there today. No one is perfect, and you're not going to get a perfect one. So stop looking. Let me bust your bubble. There's no angel that God is going to create and drop from heaven for you. If you keep looking for that person that is the perfect man, you might never get it right. There's no perfect man, there's no perfect woman out there. So at this point of confusion, I had to go back to God. So I went into prayers, and in the course of the prayers, that's why I say it's a long thing. I had some series of dreams already. Also, I have a diary for these dreams, and I kind of saw into the future what God showed me, what my life would be with each one of them. Yes. So I decided in the long run that I'll go for peace, because with my husband, what I saw was a path of peace. And I said, okay, despite I had not considered this one before, you know, yeah, it wasn't an easy decision to make. It wasn't an easy decision to make. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
I remember that I had to travel. I left Abuja, where I was not having to see any of them, not be influenced by any one of them, you know. And I really went into prayers. I'm serious, went into prayers. I remember a friend teasing me and saying, all this prayer for marriage. Now, wow. Anyways.
Wow.
And I gave God the Gideon kind of test. I said, God, look, I don't want this confusion. By the end of the year, which was, of course, then it was December. By the end of this year, the only one that is mine should remain. The rest should go on their own. I want the ones that are not mine to go away, and the one that is mine should remain. I returned from that trip, and yeah, the guy I was dating then wrote me a mail and said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't continue. No, he didn't really say I can't continue. He said, I'm not ready to settle down. If you find anybody that you can now move on. That was yeah, so that confirmed that, like my mom said, he doesn't love me. If you love a woman, you don't want to lose her. You know, if it was a letter of, I'm not ready now, but if you can wait for me, do you see? It wasn't, oh, if you can wait for me, I don't want to lose you. Or
subtle dismissal. That was a subtle dismissal.
Thank you. So I got the hint and I entered my house. That was one gone. And then the other one, a lot of things now unravel. Of course, I already told you kind of lifestyle. There were so many lies he told me. I discovered he had children before, which he had not told me of, and all those. And also that just ended that. That was how that ended. So in the long run, it remained yours
the
truly.
unconsidered became the considered. Hey!
And that's how we're here. 25 years.
Wow. So prayer played a huge factor when
of course.
When you are trying to ultimately make the decision. Because of how juicy this question is, I just have to ask him too. How did you know that she was the one, and what happened, or what did you do to make you know?
Mine was much easier. Mine was much simpler. Mine was very direct. Just like her, I was also in a relationship as at the time I moved to Abuja. I used to live in Makurdi. Makurdi is in Benue State, and that's where I lived, you know, as a child. I think I got there when I was 1 year or thereabout, and I lived there until I was about maybe 22 when I moved away from there. Before living there, I already had somebody I wanted to marry, and both families had even gone to meet each other, to know each other. But from the day that I arrived on the 2nd of October to Abuja. To resume work, I was transferred. So the next morning was the 3rd, and I was at the bank just sitting down, and I was fasting and praying because I wanted God to help me in my new job, to do well, to excel. But God answered something else differently. I was just sitting there by the cashier waiting at the bank to have my money counted when this young lady walked past sanctimoniously with wonderful steps. I've never seen anybody.
Whoa.
I have never seen anybody that beautiful in my life before that time. So confident of herself, well dressed. I thought she was the manager of the place.
And I was just an intern.
Yeah, she was just an
Can you
intern.
imagine?
The confidence and the comportment, the way she carried herself, the courage, it was something that I admired so much. And immediately I said in my spirit, I will marry this lady. Wow. I don't even know who she is. I've never met her before. For me, it was love at first sight. I said, I will marry this lady.
Wow.
And do you know, the irony of the thing is that I didn't speak to her. It was a Wednesday. I didn't speak to her. I went to the bank Thursday and Friday. I didn't see her. But on Sunday in church, I didn't even know she was in church. We were just dancing. You remember this song?
Yeah.
As we were turning, because I like to dance, as we were just turning around, look, here she was behind me.
Wow.
Because for me, the service closed, and I said, God, thank you for bringing me to
Whoa.
For me, the service closed.
Sisters, don't miss church services.
Don't miss church services. That's why I don't play with God. My daughter say I like church too much. I like God too much. I said yes.
Because that's where it all started for you.
So much for me. Now listen, her younger brother. As at that time, I didn't even know it was her younger brother. Her younger brother was working in my office and was my friend. I didn't know. So after service, I went to him with excitement. I told you my service closed. I didn't listen to any other thing, no sermon, nothing. I just was grateful to God that I reconnected to this lady. I ran to him and said, there's a lady I saw in this church. I want to marry her. That's what I said to him. He said, and the boy, know the hair word. So he said to me, any girl you want to marry, any woman you want to marry in this church, you have married her. I said, is that so? He said, yes. So he said, go and show me the girl. I took him. He took me like a child. He said, show me. I said, this is the one. I pointed to my wife. My wife did not even know now that there was a conversation about her going on at the background. And so he said, what do you mean? Comfort? I said, yes. Is that her name? I said, I don't even know her name. He said, is that her name? He said, that's my sister now. That's my younger sister. Is your younger sister. He said, you want to marry her. You don't want to spoil my sister. I said, I don't want to spoil her. I want to marry her. He said, let's go to the house.
Wow.
He was the one that took me to their house, introduced me to the family. And that was it. The rest now became history.
Wow.
Now I became friends to the family. I became friend of her younger sister, Blessing. We became very, very good friends. And my attention was for her. But she was being a little tough. She was very tough. She was very, very tough. She would not listen to me. She didn't want to be my friend. She didn't want to do anything with me. So I became.
Because you were not on the list.
Yeah, I was not on the list. So I now understood why.
You didn't know you were not on the list.
Why I was not first on the list. So I made friends with every member of our family. And so I had access to come into the family all the time, talk to her, talk to everyone. Like that. But I had my mind on her. And finally, towards December, and let me say to you what she's talking about, praying and going to a secluded place to say, God, sort this thing out for me. It did work. As at the time she was sorting this thing out, I was almost going to leave too.
Wow.
Because, I was almost going to leave too. It was just at the nick of time that God did what he did, because I was tired of the shakara. I was so tired. I had waited, and I had a very good friend, Clement Anaga, who helped me. He was always, pushing me to say, don't stop. We will get her. You will marry her. That guy, I can't forget him. Yeah, he was always there for me. And he said, keep on pushing. He was one of the reasons why we got married, because I kept focused. He made me stay focused until we were able to get it done. But the truth is that I was almost at the end age of saying, I've had enough of it. And now the lesson is that if you want anything, go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it. I went for it, and I had a circle of friends that could tell me, don't stop. We will get it done. We'll get the job done. So, in relationship, if you must involve friends and family, involve people who have the same direction, who think are right like you, who have the same kind of mind with you. for me and for us, it's God. And then when we finally agreed we were going to get married, we had 1 year of prayer, people, 1 whole year. We were not in a hurry. We agreed we were going to marry after 1 year, but we had 1 year of solid prayers. That's why we are here. That's the only reason why we are still here. Prayers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to know. The final happening is another process, another thing altogether. Wow, it's just so surreal. It's just so like, wow. So things like this happen. Like,
It happens. So mine was first spot on.
wow. So love at first sight. Love at first sight. And look at the way God just made everything happen, because while she was praying, something was also happening at your end. And if she didn't take that step, you may have missed each other.
That's true.
You may have missed each other. So great answer, great question, great answer. So let's move on to the next one. Choose a number 1 to 5. Okay, number 3 is out. So 1, 2, 4, and 5.
5.
Okay, number 5. Okay, so number 5 is about mentors in your relationship. So while you guys were dating, this thing that they say about you need to have mentors or people around. Don't maybe hide the relationship. You need to have. So how did that play out in your relationship?
Yeah, we had a couple of people who mentored us, and I must give it to one of our very, very, very elder brothers those days. His name is Evangelist Joseph Iyase. He's a great man of God who helped us. In fact, from day one that we made up our mind we were going to get married, he was involved in it. We kept praying together. He kept praying with us. He kept telling us the mind of God. In fact, as at that time, I wasn't a pastor yet. My wife wasn't a pastor. We were not in ministry. We were just doing our thing in the choir and in the youth department and all of that. But you could see each time he ministers to us, he tells us we have a ministry, we have a calling upon our lives. I wasn't interested. My wife wouldn't have married a pastor. That's not what she wanted. I was more interested in doing my accounting job that I was doing, earning my money and living good lives and all of that. It was okay for me. I was very satisfied. But he was always there for us from day one. And then we had people like Mommy Oracle. We give it to her as well. She was an excellent help to us. Yeah, she was very helpful to us, in this journey. She was always there advising my wife. In fact, at some point they were even speculating, do I even have the money for the wedding? Am I even able to foot the wedding and all of that? Ask him if he has money to do that and all of that. They asked me and I told them what I had. But the truth of the matter is that we had several people. We also had people like Reverend Pius Udoje, who helped us a lot during the traditional wedding. After the wedding, he was even the chairman of our wedding. And my father said to him, this is your son, take care of him. This marriage, if he fails or walks out, is in your hands. And he's been very, very consistent. I told my wife, I said, when we lived in South Africa, he was one person that spoke to me. He calls me once every week. Once every week. My family members don't call me once a week. He called me once every week. And I give that to him. I think these are the 3 people who played a very pivotal roles in our early marriage that helped us to get that stability that we needed. People we could run to if there's anything we needed for help, whether prayer or counseling or whatever it was, they were always there for us. And we were not going to forget our parents as well, Bishop Dr. Napoleon Obayoje and Mama Obayoje. Those 2 were also there, and our parents as well. But these 3 people we mentioned first were the people they were our go-to persons whenever we had issues. In fact, they would know when to come to us themselves as well. So they were always there for us. Yeah.
Wow. So mentors, very important in relationship and in marriage. Like, you cannot overemphasize the role of mentors in a relationship in a marriage. All right, great one. I think I should take one more question from Mama before we go. So question 3 is out, question 5 is out, 1, 2, and 4.
Okay, 2.
Okay. Number two. Okay, I think Papa has answered this. I think you've answered that already. Number two is, was it love at first sight
Oh,
for
For
you?
me,
No,
it
it wasn't
was.
love. Yeah,
It
for
was.
him it was. For
I,
you, it
yeah.
wasn't. So we know that.
question
was.
4.
Okay, so let's do question 4. So question 4 is about the marriage. It's been almost 25 years now. And just like I was saying earlier, 25 years is a long time. I mean, most times I just feel that when people get married, yeah, you hope their marriage would work, it would last. Sometimes you look at the first few years of the marriage, but sometimes people don't see that far as 20 years, or they don't think it, they don't think as far as 25, 30 years, So what would you say? What's that one thing or one or two things that I would say has sustained the marriage all these years? Yeah, no marriage is perfect. Every marriage has its own challenges. So what's that thing, or what are those two things that you would say for you has helped you to sustain the marriage all these years?
Okay, now.
Mhm.
All right, there'll definitely be more than two things.
Yeah.
So I'll try to run the list as fast as possible. The first and major, which we can't take away, is our faith. And take it or leave it, the foundation of a matter is very important. Because we already had this faith grounded in Christ, and yeah, that has played a lot, a great role in helping us so far. The other is forgiveness. So, like you said, yeah, that wedding day is always so beautiful. It's always so, before then, all the butterflies and all the taking out and all the scones and all the anyways.
Okay, there's a story behind that scones. I would have loved to hear it, but go ahead.
One day you hear the scones. And behind all of those, or after all of those, is the two people that now come together to live as husband and wife. And someone has said before, I can't remember who said it, that you should have forgiveness in your pocket before the offense come. I've come to discover that we would offend each other. No matter how perfect the person you marry is, there will be offenses. The ability to forgive and truly forgive, not just say you forgive, but truly forgive and move on from a matter, so that you can be able to have the forgiveness for the next offense. Because the fact that the person is sorry about this, or you forgiving to, doesn't mean another one will not happen. That's what I have learned. Offenses will keep coming, but the ability to forgive, that's also important. I always say that most divorce happen out of unforgiveness. It's not really the issue. So it could be, yes, the man cheated on the woman. Yes, the woman cheated on the man. But that cheating is not what has destroyed that marriage. It is the inability to forgive the cheating. Yes. So if it's lies that destroyed your relationship, it's not the lies that has destroyed the relationship. It is the inability to forgive the lies. And I keep saying this, for those who know us and who know our story, they know that we've gone through, like my husband would say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've gone through, I think,
started the circle again.
Yeah. The worst things that you can count in a relationship. Whatever it is you think is a bad thing that can happen in a relationship, I think we've experienced it. We've gone through them, but we've been able to forgive each other and, move on from them, learn our lessons and move on from them. And then, like you mentioned also, the presence of mentors. When you have the right people who surround you, telling you they believe in you. We very, very early became parents to people that are not even our biological children. And they always tell us about how they look up to us, how they look up to our love, how they look up to, So when you're in that kind of community, you also don't want to let yourself and the people down. You understand? You know that you've been held up to a high esteem and you want to live up to that esteem. So that has also helped us. We've had people who have prayed over us. We have spiritual fathers who keep praying over us. We have people who have believed in us even when we didn't believe in ourselves. I mean, there was a time when we had this bad breakup, and I thought it was the end. I never thought we were going to come back from that. But we had fathers, we had pastors who were coming to our house to pray for each person individually where we were, even as we were separated, take us out. I remember a daddy and his wife took me out to Sheraton. We sat down there and they just talked to me, allowed me pour my heart out. This was unpaid counseling session, that if I were to pay, they still bought me dinner.
Wow.
So we've just had this love of people around us. Not people who say, oh, how can he do that to you? How can you take that? Are you a fool? At your level, how can you take that? No, we've had people who've always said you can. Oh, for example, my mom is one person that I don't even want to go and tell anything my husband has done. I've never seen that kind of mother-in-law before, because she's always going to come back to, you chose him, it's your love. I was there when you said that. Even if he said you follow him and go. He's not perfect, but this or that or that or that, she's always trying to make me see the good, no matter how bad the situation is. And this has really helped. And I think also, lastly, so as not to make the list too long, the desire to grow and change. Yeah, because we got married at very, very young age. I was 22, my husband was 24. And as far as I'm concerned now, in retrospect, I didn't even know half of where my life was going, what I was going to become, what I was going to do. The only thing I knew was that right from time, I love book. And I told my husband, I will go to school. The fact that I'm married doesn't mean I will not go to school. I will go to school. And I've been going to school. In fact, these 25 years, I've been going to school. I don't think I have had very, very few years of breaks in between. I've been able to acquire so many certificates by the grace of God. My husband has allowed me to grow in that sense. Do you understand what I mean? And also, both of us growing together to know each other more and be willing to change about what your ideology of what you're bringing from your father's house, who a father should be, who a mother should be. And then now coming into your own family, the desire to be able to change. When you say, okay, this is not working for us, I think that is also another secret. And this is important, very, very important, because compromise is super needed for any relationship to be able to flourish. If you keep holding on to your own ways and say, oh, it must be the way I want it or the way I've always known things to be, then there's no growth. There's no progress, Yeah. So for me, I think,
Wow. This is deep stuff, man. Deep stuff. Yeah. Please go ahead.
For me, she said basically everything, but one thing for me is that, like I said, mine was love at first sight, and I have never ever stopped loving my wife since the first day I met her. And that's what has been going for me. If I didn't love my wife, I tell you, I wouldn't be married to her today. There's nothing. I wouldn't look at the children, I wouldn't look at ministry, I wouldn't look at anything. I'll just go away. But I have always loved her. And my children make jest of me all the time. Even this morning, and they said, we wonder what she gave you, that these 25 years, you still love her this way, you still defend her, you still care about her. I don't let them take sides. I don't take sides with them with anything when it comes to my wife. My wife gets it all, number one. That's who I am, because I love her. In fact, that love that I have for her has kept me. It's one thing that has kept me going every day. And then the love that we have for God, like she mentioned, is very paramount. I believe so much in the sanctity of marriage. I believe in marriage so much. I encourage people to get married. In fact, if you can get married early like we did, fine. It helped me become more responsible. In fact, not just more responsible, it made me responsible. So I want to advise as many that listen to us today, if you're not married yet and you are still considering whether or not, please do get married and marry someone you love, marry someone you are in love with. Because even when every other thing fails, that love will be able to keep you guys going. That's what has worked for us. Otherwise, man, we for no day here today. It's love. God.
In short, as if I should just allow you guys to go on and on and on and on. But I want us to quickly move on to the next two sections. And if we still have time, we'll come back to the scone gist. I didn't forget. Okay, so let's quickly take our rapid questions. Rapid question. You don't need to think about it. Just point at each other. The one who is the one. So let us go. Mama, are you ready?
I hope so.
All right. Who is the spender? Who is the spender? Who is the stricter one?
Not by myself.
Who is more adventurous? More adventurous.
Me. I like new things.
Who is the spontaneous one? Spontaneous. Sharp, sharp, sharp.
I forsake.
Yeah, me, I'm overthinker. I'm an overthinker.
Who is the funny one? All right. Okay. That was just a teaser, just to make you relax. So let's go to the final section so that we can answer one more question, then talk about the scone gist. You laughed at that scone gist. Very crucial, very important. So we're going to just do it quickly like a couple game. Do you have your pen and your paper, your marker and your paper?
Our answers, we do.
Please just make your answers as legible as possible so that we can see it. Maybe you write in capital letters.
Okay, don't worry. Yeah, we'll try.
You write in capital letters. So
all right, let's try.
I just have a few questions, maybe like 3 questions here, just
go on.
You guys to answer. So who is going first?
Me.
Okay. Since you're going first, the answer to the question would be about you, Mama.
So it's my husband who writes.
Both of you are writing.
Oh, okay. So we saw that
allowing each other to see the answers. So you're going to, but the answer to the question is about you, Mama. Okay. So when you're done writing, he will raise his answer and we'll see if it matches yours.
Okay.
All right. So I'll give you a scenario. She's angry, or whenever she gets upset, what is her first reaction? Whenever she gets upset, what is her first reaction? So let me just give you 30 seconds to think about it and really write your answer very well and see whether you want to change. You can cancel it if you want to change your mind.
I'm covering my own with my hand.
Yes.
So they'll not see my answer. See,
you can cancel it if you want to change your mind, and don't write one paragraph for us. So she will now go
up. Very long answer.
Okay, are you ready? Let's see the answer.
Can you see it?
We can see it. So maybe move it a bit to Mama's side. We can see.
Read your answer out.
Okay, read your answer out. Let's see.
Okay. If she's angry, what she will do is to walk away. She either walks away, keep quiet, or show her displeasure. You will just see them.
How can you not put 3 answers? Is it allowed?
These are
they are within the same sphere now, so we can ask.
These are the likely things that she's to do if she's angry.
Yeah. Mama, let's see your answer. Read it for us. Let's see. Read it. Let's see.
I said go quiet.
Quiet. Okay. We'll give it to you. It's in and around. To stay safe. Your answer was a safe answer. You just gave us 3, just in case. We never know the one she will come up with.
because like I said, I'm an overthinker. Most times I don't like reacting on the spot when I'm upset. I take my time to walk away and kind of process it. Because at that point in time, if I react, I know I'm going to maybe say things I regret or, so I just go quiet. And he usually notices, okay.
How has that worked?
You're suddenly quiet. That's what I'm saying. The other person has to be able to notice. So he notices when I go quiet. And he will tell me, You're quiet. I notice
Quiet.
you're quiet. I observe you're quiet. What's wrong? What have I done? And sometimes not even about him, but he's always asking, what have I done?
Done.
What have I done? You know what I mean? So it works. Like I said, it's better to take a minute, you know, than to react as, you know, as they pepper or as they burn you. And then you end up burning things or destroying things in the long run. It's just, for me, that works for me though.
Okay. What do you think? Does it work?
I don't really like it when there's an issue on ground and you keep quiet. I always want you to trash it out immediately. But what I've noticed is that sometimes we try to trash it out immediately as it is hot. Then it you know, it's like it will escalate. So to de-escalate it, I allow her walk away. I'll just allow her to stay on her own, you know, just for the time being. But I know she will come around, you know, in another couple of hours. So.
Oh,
you know,
so that works fine. That's great. That's lovely. That is lovely. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So Papa, you're the one answering this.
Okay.
And it's about you, Mama. Okay. So the answer you're giving is about him. So if you have all the money in the world, or if money was not a problem, what's the first thing you will invest in?
That's what is first thing my husband will invest in.
Yes,
if he had all the money.
Yes, if he had the money, what's the first thing you will write it down, please? And Mama, let's see your answer. Think about it very well. That time that the money was just flowing, bang, 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 every time, everywhere.
I've written my answer.
Okay, that's quick. It's like you're very sure. Is that your final answer, Mama?
I hope so.
You want to phone a friend?
Nobody to help me this one.
This is
you want to phone your financial advisor.
Jesus, I want to phone. No other person can answer this one.
This is a tough one.
All right, Mama. Let's see your answer, Mama.
I hope I'm not going to fail it. Okay. Can you see?
What did you say? Real estate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What did you say?
Real estate and ministry.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Which one came first? Was it real estate or
real estate came first? Yes.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. So you know this thing. You know this thing.
I love real estate, and I've done real estate. That was my very first business I did in life, was real estate. Had a company, employed people to work for me at a very young age. I think I was just 25 when I had that company running.
Wow.
And then when I went to South Africa, I also ventured into real estate. So it's something that is dear to me. And then after real estate is ministry. That's my life. Yeah.
Wow. That is lovely. So spot on. She got it right there. Wow. She got it right there.
I owe you one. You know you get that.
Okay, who is going now? Papa, are you the one going?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, you don't mind. Okay, Mama, you're the one now.
Yeah, so it's about me now.
It's about you now. Okay, this one is easy.
Okay.
Again, you have all the money in the world. What would be your favorite vacation spot?
For me, that's where I want to go right now.
About you. The answer is about you now.
Okay.
So,
a trip around the world.
Where she wants to go now.
Her favorite vacation spot. Or vacation spot she wants to go.
This one is really very easy, and I'll tell you why after we've said the answer.
Okay, are you ready? What's the answer? Let's see.
It's Dubai, UAE.
Mama, what's the answer?
It's Dubai.
Wow.
I say this is easy.
We discussed the story behind it.
Because we've discussed it and I've said it severally. He's been to Dubai and I have not been to Dubai. And I've been crying about the fact that the Dubai government, they are trying to stop Nigerians now from coming in, because I'm like, I've not gone. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to yeah, that's where I want to go to.
It's always good to take advantage of opportunities you have. She had a chance to go with me, but she refused to come.
Oh,
to go into that story.
No, that's not
okay.
good.
Oh, okay. That was fun. That was lovely. That was lovely. So one last question. Our time is running fast. One last question before you guys go. But that I need to ask both of you before we go. But before that, please, whether it is long or short or summary, give us the conges quickly before we answer the last question.
Okay, let me cut it short because Titi has to die for this. This is a personal matter between me and Titi. This is my son's gist.
Because the way you people laughed at it.
At the time, my husband and I started dating, there were very, very few restaurants and hotels in Abuja where we were then in Nigeria. And so I was, like he said, I've always been this tough person. I had taste for some delicacies, and they had to be picked from certain spots.
Yeah.
Cake from Sheraton.
Yeah.
Whoa.
From Agura.
Agura.
So there was a hotel
Agura
called Agura Hotel. The
Wow.
scones were heavenly.
Yeah.
I was not counting calories then, so I didn't bother. And it was so far from where he was working and living. If people in Abuja would say to area 10. But every time he closed from work, he goes to Agura Hotel to go get those scones. The chefs there cannot even dare tell him the scones are finished.
They bought them.
He made friends with the chefs there. They know him as the scone man.
Whoa.
Because he was always going there to get my scones before coming to the house. And he made it every day. My husband was always answering presents in our house, attendance in our house. So at a point, when he brings the scone, I won't eat. I will gather. Saturday morning, we all eat it as breakfast with tea in my house. And he didn't know that.
Wow.
He didn't know that. So I was sharing the scones at the booty of the scones with everybody. But after we got married, he stopped buying the scones. And I told him about it. Now you know why we keep talking about the scones.
Wow. Papa, that was a good one. You really scored high points there. You really scored high points. So you have done the homework, and you've done the hard work, the background work, and the scone got you some high points. That was lovely.
Yeah. I knew she loved it, and I like
Mama,
I said.
sorry, Mama, what did that mean? Did that mean anything to you?
Of course,
Did it contribute to you making up your mind?
We were already dating then, so it wasn't part of what made me make up my mind. But for me as a person, one thing that always excites me, and I think my husband has come to know that now. I mean, how much was the scones? Yeah. It wasn't really about whether it was expensive or what it is, but the pain, the thoughts behind it. So if, for example, you can just look at me without me telling you, oh, I like this thing, you just on your own are able to dictate, my wife loves this, and you go out of your way to get it for me. That's a big deal for me. It doesn't have to be something expensive. So that was why he was scoring points on it. For him to have now observed that, okay, this woman loves this particular scones from that particular hotel. And then, I mean, he didn't have a car. He would take taxi first to the hotel, take another taxi from that hotel to our house. He wasn't convenient.
I mean,
but he was
this is we do for love.
My darling. The only thing is that these men need to continue doing these things when they start, and okay.
Papa, what do you have to say about that scone story? How was it at the end?
I discovered she loved it, and so I would go out of my way. Sometimes I close very late, like she said. I would go out of my way to make sure I deliver it as for that day. I don't want to have any day go by without having to deliver it to her, because, like I said, I loved her so much, and I wanted her. I could do anything, legally to make sure that she was happy. And that's one thing about my wife, is that you need to pay attention to details when she's talking to you, understand her body language, know the things she's talking about. If you need to jot them down, jot them down. If there's birthday, so if birthday is coming, if you need to buy that thing, one of those things, she must have been giving you the hints all along. So you need to remember. I remember one of the Christmas, I think it was last year, before that time, we went to a store to buy a perfume. And the perfume was very expensive, I must tell you, and I didn't have the money. But in my mind, I keep saying the day that I will be able to afford this perfume, I will buy it for her. So last year, not this 2021, it will be 2021, 2021 Christmas, you know, my son and I said, come with me, let's go out. Then we went to that same shop. I couldn't even remember the name of the perfume, but I could remember the
aroma.
The aroma. If I could, if you spray it, I will be able to, you know, get it right. So it took us a few minutes, but I was able to get it spot on. And that meant a lot to her. That's the kind of person she is, that you are able to remember, you're able to go out of your comfort zone to do something for her, excite her. Those little things, it doesn't have to be anything expensive. It just has this from the heart. You know, the way you're able to do it is what excites her. And so for me, I saw the scone as an avenue to be able to not just to score a point, but to show her that if this means anything to you, then I'm willing to go all the way to make you happy. Let it be like an advice to any other person listening that it's not about the cost. It's about the mind, the heart. You know, you must have to be consistent with it when you start doing it. Like she's saying, sometimes we get married and we say we're overwhelmed, you have her in the home and all of that. No, keep doing all of these things. But I don't think scone is our problem now. There are much more. There are many important things now, you know, that has taken the place of scones, you know, so to speak. So, like today I was saying to her, I know that our tastes have changed since we moved and all of that. So, intermittently find out what means to your partner, what your partner likes now. It's no longer now. What else is it? You know, a few years ago, my wife wouldn't be talking about going to Dubai. She's been she's traveled. So, but because this is one part of the world she has not been to, that's why it's making sense to her. And I agree with her. We had a conversation recently, and I said, the next holiday, I want to go to Mexico. And she said, no, she won't go to Mexico. She wants to go to Dubai. I said, okay, let me bring it down to Dubai's neighbor, people who are close. I said, okay, I love Turkey. Let's go to Turkey. And she said, no, I want to go to Dubai. That I have changed twice, but she remained where she is. And that means a lot to her. Yeah. And that's what we need to get, yeah.
Wow. This is just deep stuff, man. Deep stuff. These are the things that most people need to pay attention to, you know, in order to, like I was saying earlier on, you just think that first day, just get married. You think of a year or 2 years down the line, but most times you don't really see that far, or as to maybe 15 years, what to do to sustain. And these are really the pillars that we need to pay attention to in order for us to constantly continue to have a great marriage relationship. Just like you guys have said, faith, you know, forgiveness, having mentors. That one got me, you know. That's just having that support system around you, those people that are willing to like stand in the gap and encourage you to keep on going, you know, the willingness to grow.
Let me say something about that also. It's the willingness of people to be honest with themselves.
Yeah.
You know, when we're talking like this now, someone might be watching us and wishing, oh my God, I wish I married Comfort. Oh, I wish I married Joseph. But I'm telling you the truth, it's not all sweet and all rosy and all. We all have our differences that, you know, we can fight and clash and quarrel about. I mean, in this marriage, in the 25 years, we've had times when we separated. People didn't even know. You know, we've separated severally. Okay, let's maybe not stay separated. I have moved out severally. I'm the mover. So once I'm not comfortable in a place, usually, you know, like he said, walk away, I take off. But one thing, and I must give it to my husband, he always comes running after me.
Wow.
Running.
Wow.
So, running to you.
Because at a point, no, let's help our viewers. You must have that one person who is ready to make the sacrifice. Like he has said, and it's the truth. From the day when he said, okay, I love this woman, he's always stuck his gun to I love this woman.
Wow.
You know. And severally I always ask myself, why is it that when I leave, he still comes after me? Why would he not just okay to hell with her? You know, that's the end. I've tried, you know, this woman all these years. The way he chased me doggedly as a girl is the way he's still trying to chase me. Sometimes
Wow.
he misbehave. I'm not saying he's perfect. He will really be the one to misbehave. He will misbehave very, very well. Then he will not take paper and still clean the shit. You know, he knows how to apologize and how to
And
beg
make things right.
and try to make it right.
Wow. Wow.
So this and that is why it has been easy for me to forgive. I remember that I was talking to someone not too long ago, and the person asked me, how can you forgive that? You can forgive when you see someone making an effort to change. That's the answer.
Yeah.
It is not that it is perfect, okay? But there's that effort. There's somebody trying to change. Then you can meet the person halfway and say, yeah, okay, because you've made that effort. But if you, as a man, for example, and I'm just saying it out there to men, be patient, be dogged. If you said, I want my family, stick to it. Really, really fight for your family. The devil is all out against families. There are a lot of things fighting relationship and families out there. But stick your gun. This generation, we're just quick to, just imagine it's as if they've been doing a relay batting for divorce, passing baton to each other. This one divorce, this one divorce. This one, what is going on, people? What is going on, people? There's no perfect person out there. Work it out. Mend the offenses. And that's where the name came from. You can actually mend the offenses. They will break. They will break. They will be weak. They'll face challenges. Mend them and keep going. All right.